Welcome to the Alkalign Lifestyle School, where luxury meets transformation and where we teach elite minds and bodies how to thrive as their true, authentic, divine self. I'm your host and guide today, Fidel Snook II, and today we're going to be talking about why your training is wrong. Now, what I mean by training is physical training. People this day, this is about to be New Year's coming up in about 3-4 weeks, right? You're going to see a horde of people just coming into the gym talking about, I want to lose weight, I want to get a better body. Because if you did not know this, over the course of the holidays, this is the time where most people get sick and die. You just don't see it because it's the holidays. But the holidays are where you have bad habits come out, where everybody gets together to combine their bad habits. You have the most alcohol that's drank, you have the most pastries that are purchased, you have the most breads and sugary, sweet things that are causing people to clog arteries, all right, get strokes and heart attacks, a lot of meat, a lot of acidic foods, processed foods. So training yourself is essential because you have got to balance out your emotional body, your spiritual body with your physical body. And so I'm going to teach you guys as to mainly why training wrong keeps you fat and overweight, and it keeps you sick, and it keeps you with a lower immune system. So there's 4 things that I prioritize when I'm teaching somebody how to get their mind and their body right back into alignment. Because when you're training your body, you gotta think about this. When you're building muscle, or you're building any kind of strength in your mind, or just in your body in general, you've got to connect your mind with your muscles. You have got to figure out how to not overshoot so much. You've got to learn patience. You got to learn step-by-step process. You've got to build slowly and steadily. It's not a race, okay? And that's why you see so much steroid use. It's because people have a short-term goal in mind, short-term gratification. And instant gratification is bad in the weight room. It's bad on the track. It's bad in fitness in general, okay? So I'm not a person that supports steroids or chemicals of any kind. And I love training my body. I mean, you can call it bodybuilding, but really I like to be healthy, and I go places all the time. I see gyms all the time where people, you can tell the person that's not natural. They have this thing that like a viral thing where they're going asking people within a gym, are you natty? Which basically means, are you natural? And most people are saying, no, because if you're competing at this level, then there's no way for you to be natural. There's no way for you. It's like, nah, listen, that's a bunch of crap. So I'm just telling you right now, that's a bunch of garbage. If I want to go to be, huge and just, stacked up with all kind of muscles and everything, and I'm pretty sure that the same way I'm doing the process right now, it would just be multiplied and it would just be enhanced. Anyone can do it because, as I've seen, and as nature tells me, that the strongest animals on this planet are plant eaters. So that's why I kind of don't listen to any of that stuff. But again, this is the 4 concepts that I teach people when they come to me and say my mind and my body are just not working, and I'm overweight. I need to lose some weight. I need to, get myself back in line, get into a sleek, a fast, a lean way of being. So there's 4 main misperceptions, meaning the belief pattern is wrong. Time, okay? What time should you be working out? All right, this is probably one of I listed this first because, quite honestly, I think it's the biggest problem in fitness at this moment is, what time should I be working out? Okay, because you'll see floods of people coming into the gym after work. And mind you, that's what they have to do. They have to come in after work, 5 o'clock, right? Are they going before work? 5 a.m., 5 p.m. Okay, so, when it gets to 5 a.m., you'll see people coming to classes if they have that, 6 a.m., things like that. And then you also see it at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., right? It's like a social thing too. People are coming after a long day. They want to, just go to unwind themselves. But let me express to you just why this is, in a way, incorrect. In the hours of, let's go 3 to 5 a.m., all right? you're still in a process of detoxification. This is going to be for your lungs. As the Chinese body clock talks about circadian rhythms, your lungs are going to be from 3 to 5 a.m. in the morning. They're still being cleansed and cleaned out. After that is your large intestine. Your large intestine is right at about 5 a.m. to about 7 a.m. And after that, it's going to be your stomach. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you should do is relieve your bowels, send your waste out, right? Drink some warm water, and just, you're cleaning yourself. Because overnight, you were going through the process, putting yourself to the washing machine, getting yourself ready for the next day, all right? Whenever you get up in the morning and train yourself, the issue is that you aren't done yet. You haven't actually gone through the process to finish the process of cleaning. And this is where people just immediately roll out of bed and they just start their process off, all right? My lady, she told me she has this client that she's been helping to detoxify himself. She's been cooking him like elite meals. I mean, she's been giving him all types of stuff, like shots and, wellness shots and all types of things. She's been hooking it up. But she told me last night, she said he still has this problem where he just gets up and rolls out of bed and he's, boxing and he's doing all this, and he's overweight. She was trying to lose weight. And I'm like, why is he doing that at 5 o'clock in the morning? Like, the first thing you should do when you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning is meditate. Let me explain to you why, when you meditate, this is so important, okay? The reason most people don't and can't lose any weight is because they aren't hydrated. You have to have enough water inside of your cells, inside of your body, to be able to, it's like organizing your hormone structure. So you have leptin, you have ghrelin, all right? So you have to have these two hormones that basically tell you, I need or I don't need, all right? And so if you don't regulate this by the process of drinking enough water, you're never actually gonna know what your cues for hunger and eating actually are. So when you get up in the morning, the first thing that you should do is meditate. Because why do you meditate? What it does is it stops this process. Okay, like say you have this process of your outer world and the process of your inner world. Now, there's inner world, outer world. What you have to do is you have to get these two lined up, all right? Most people are so overlapped in their outer world. It's going all the way like this. So this is neutral at this point right here. Their outer world is overtaking everything because they only focus on their outer world. They don't focus on their inner world. So what happens is this is going to be out of alignment and it's missing the mark. So you have to actually get into your inner world, get into your inner self, into your higher self to stop the process. Because when you're thinking so much, the first thing that goes is your water. You're burning all the water inside your body away. So you're getting dehydrated. So in the morning time, when you first get up in the morning, first thing you do, get up. If you need to relieve your bowels, which you probably won't have to do it yet because you probably can be dehydrated still. Go in, take some water first, and then sit yourself up, sit up, because you don't want to sleep this off. You want to sit up, get a sleep mask or something, put on a meditation, all right? Write some things down. If you want to send some gratitudes out, if you want to plan your day out, just take some time so that you can stop the process of missing the mark. And then you can align yourself back to neutral. This is going to open up your cells to receive water. Don't get up in the morning and drink, a cup of coffee. Don't get up in the morning and take anything like a stimulant, caffeine of any kind. Don't take any of that. Don't take any tea, don't take any of that. Just get up and drink some water and go back, sit down and meditate. What you're doing is now you're going to fill your cells up with the water that it needs to be able to get you to organize your own mind to tell you, are you hungry or not throughout your entire day. Once your body starts working, your systems begin working, you're losing the weight anyway because you're not putting anything in that's causing you to have excess energy, all right? Excess gasoline inside your tank. Your tank is already full. And you need to get that, which you've already used in terms of fat, because fat stores toxins. If you can get this fat to then be used instead of you putting in new food, new things inside your body, then that's how you're gonna start to lose the weight. So at the time in the morning, you don't wanna work out at 5 a.m. If that's the only time that you have to work out, I understand. Okay, I'll tell you some types of things that you can do, but do not just roll out of bed and immediately start going into high intensity things. I describe it like this. You would not get out of bed and start playing rock music. If you do, that's on you. But what you're doing is you're gonna start to cause chaos in terms of your inner and outer world. So when people get up in the morning time and they immediately start going into boxing, okay, to cardio kickboxing class, or they go into high intensity work, all right? You're getting up in the morning and you're playing rock music physically inside your body, your energy body, because I'm experiencing rock music, heavy metal, playing all over. It's just going all over. You're just going in chaos. What you have to do is you have to get up in the morning and ease yourself into creation. Now, the time that you really should be training, what time should you really be training? If you're going through this process correctly, all right, your spleen is about 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's your spleen. You need your spleen. You need these functions of your different organs to extract energy from what you already have inside of you. And people who are overweight usually have stored collections of feces, poop, inside their body. They just aren't moving anything. Nothing's moving. The conveyor belt is supposed to be going and send the food and for digestion. The process of digestion is not working. This is the process that's called peristalsis. This process is actually run through the autonomic nervous system, which is the system that works behind the scenes. Your subconscious functions, okay? It's not subconscious functions. Let me express subconscious is just a word that they say that means under your conscious mind, but it's super. It's a superconscious. This is the higher mind self. This is the enteric nervous system, all right? Your gut, your solar plexus. This area here is what really governs how you feel, okay? That connects it to the central, that tells it to send out the pharmacy, send these hormones, send this dopamine, send this cortisol. Whichever one it is, it's caused by how you feel. Because fight or flight is felt inside your gut. You feel it inside your gut. That's what your gut feelings are called, your gut feelings. So at the time that you should be working out, you want to aim for, you can say noon to maybe 4 p.m., noon to about 4 p.m., because your heightened level of energy is going to be right around 2 p.m. Because right after you get into that area of cleansing in the morning time, you should be able to go to intermittent fasting if you want to, and start your process off by eating fruit in the morning. It's going to aid your digestion for the entire day. So in the morning time, the first thing that you should consume is going to be fruit. Okay, just take some fruit. Just eat something that's electric, because you have to be electrified. The lack of electricity is what's causing you to feel like you have low energy. And you're taking in these things that don't give you any energy. They extract energy from you. So Starbucks takes away energy, all right? Donuts, for first responders, things like that. These pastries and things, they take away energy. McDonald's, Egg McMuffins and stuff, takes away energy. You don't eat acids in the morning. You eat acids in the morning, you're gonna feel like an acid through the entire day, and it's gonna be burning you up on the inside, causing inflammation. There's not really any anti-inflammatory foods, right? It's not like that. There's no food that says anti-inflammatory. When it goes into your system, it doesn't cause any inflammation, okay? But usually people's response is because their environment is already so acidic, it's gonna cause some sort of reaction. So that's why people say they don't like fruit. Because when they eat the fruit, something happens. Yeah, it's supposed to happen because you're changing up your pH. So in terms of time, you do not want to get up so early in the morning, start your process of training yourself. If you are also the person that goes to bed really late, you've got to understand that sleep is the most important thing for you at this moment in time. When you're trying to lose weight, it's sleep. Because you need to understand that if you're in stress of any kind, a fight or flight perception, perceiving fight or flight of any kind, you're going to block and stop the natural process of you going to lose or to dissolve the weight. You see what I'm saying? You need sleep. It's like the primary thing. You need sleep. You have to have sleep. So the time that you would prefer is not going to be so much early morning. It's going to be about mid to late afternoon. So from mid to late afternoon, about, I'm going to put noon to about 4 p.m. The reason for noon to 4 p.m. is because right when you get to around noon, this is when your energy is going to be starting to build up the ATP within your own body. And mitochondria, exercise that turns on your mitochondria, is the best way for you to create energy. It's not for you to go try to mask it with a drink or with a powder or with something of that nature. If you have a supplement, I understand. Like if you're taking like a supplement, like I have my herbal formula, Awaken and Replenish. Awaken was a daytime formula. What it does is it charges your body's 12 systems to turn on. So all it's doing is you put drops inside of your water mixture and you drink it, because that formula goes in to then turn on your body systems to now start working. You see, I'm hearing things about creatine, and creatine is made by your own body, in case you didn't know that. If you don't know that, look it up. So nitric oxide, I used to take nitric oxide. I used to be a person at GNC. Every month I would go to GNC to have my vitamin packs and go get protein shakes. And I did not know that I could do all this on my own. And I was stopping the process of me doing it on my own. That was a hindrance for me. There was nothing of abundance in my energy field. I couldn't do anything. So the time that you really want to work out is not going to be as early as you get up. I understand, the Mamba mentality. Kobe Bryant, I understand that. I used to do the same thing. I used to get up in the morning and start running. And when you get up in the morning to start running, that's not necessarily get up in the morning to start boxing. All right, intensity does matter, which we'll get to that. Okay, but if you do need to get up in the morning, just taking a nice walk. Walking is essential for you to lose weight. If you just focus on steps, 1,000 steps, 2,000 steps, and just keep on improving. Step counter, 5,000, get it to 20,000 steps a day. Yeah, I guarantee you're gonna be in phenomenal shape. But you just gotta get there. Start the process today where you just start to keep track of what you're doing. Same time. Make sure it's the same time every day. If you gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just give yourself some time to meditate, to get into your own head. All right, and to create a new process that's gonna happen for you. Don't get up and start doing something. Get up and get into yourself, and then create the process for you to go outwardly into the screen of space and do what you gotta get up and go do. So that's essential. So first thing when you get up in the morning, meditate. All right, we need to get yourself rehydrated, get some water inside your body, and just get you feeling right and feeling strong. But now, so here's what the next one, as I'm talking about meditation, is going to be in the mind. So what you need to understand is that your mind has got to connect to your body. I teach what's called the beginning movement load theory. All right, and it was a gentleman that's named Yasushi Koyama in Japan. He was a professor, he wasn't even a trainer. But he was he studied the brain. So his focus was neural pathways created into the brain. How does it help people just get well, get healthy, and get well? So he basically trains you to your fullest range of motion. All right. Most of the ways that he used, he constructed his own machines called World Wing. And they don't even sell them in the States. They only sell them in Japan. He has his own gyms that are in Japan. So what it's doing is it's causing the range of motion to be extended. And the weights aren't going to be some supreme thing. Like in the Western world, we got to go in there to go put 300 on the squat rack. And we got to go bench press it. It's like, no, it's not like that. Because he wants the mind to be connected to the muscle and to the range of motion. Because if you can't put your arm all the way back, then you aren't very strong. If you can't put your arm all the way up, you aren't very strong. See, so he wants mobility and flexibility to be the priority. So your mind, whenever you're training, has got to be the priority, your mind. It's not the number, it's not the weight, okay? The number actually does nothing if you can't really lock in and move it. If you can't actually go in to an isometric, which is basically just a still hold, to a concentric, all right, which is going to be the actual reflex action of you moving, and then eccentric, which is elongating it again. If you can't do that process the entire time, all right, and I'm not saying it has to be under complete control, but it has to be as close to complete control as possible. Once that control starts to dissipate, the connection starts to break within your mind, you're not gaining any muscle. You're not actually building anything. So you've got to understand that the initial movement that you make, it has to be the priority, the initial movement. So it's called the beginning movement load theory, because if you were to pull your arm all the way back, for instance, all right, this is going to be the initial movement right here of me moving my arm forward. So if I had a machine here like the fly, like the cable fly, if I'm doing that, all right, and what I see is this right here, the initial movement that would come in from me going from one to here. People put this immense amount of weight on here and it ruptures because you're not strong enough in this shoulder area, in this joint. What he taught people to do was you have this entire range of motion, and now as you're pulling it forward, this initial part of you pulling it forward is the most important part. See? Because if you can move this, you're incredibly strong, because I can now put this back all the way here. Some people can't touch their toes. They can't even bend down and touch their toes and their feet because they don't have the actual range of motion to do it. So people who go to the squat rack, they put all these pounds up. You can see people who have this concept of 90 degrees, which does not exist, because that was a myth made by a gentleman at the University of Texas back in the 50s, I believe. And he had this awful contraption, this awful invention that he basically, it was like a cast. And he was basically attempting to say, you have to keep your leg like this in order for you to train, your ligaments in your leg. And that's all been disproved multiple times. I trained in 2018 with the genius gentleman. His name is Ben Patrick. You guys might know him as the knees over toes guy. And for like 6 months, I got to where I was in Florida at the time. I was outside of Orlando, and I was training with this gentleman. He's big time now, but back then he just had a different way of thinking. Finally, I'm so glad he went all over the world to tell everybody about this, because your knees have to go over your toes, but you can't put your knees over your toes with 300 pounds in excess. It has to start the process off. You'll eventually get there if you begin to stack brick by brick. All right. So you don't do 3/4 squats or 1/2 squats. You go as low and deep as possible. You get to as far as you possibly can go. You get to the deepest range of motion because your mind has to connect to that. So don't go in and use your ego to try to go to impress the people on the outside to load your weight up. There's no point in you doing that. There's no point in you doing that. Those bodybuilders that have been training for their entire life, all right, that's why they're so huge and so immense. And some of them also have been cheating the system. They've been going there and going on steroid cycles and things like that, which they're going to cause a detriment to their body. But that's on them. They sign up for that. I'm telling you guys how to do it the right way. You need to connect your mind to your muscle group. Connect your mind to your movement, because movement is meditation. Okay, if you don't move correctly, how you move is going to be your expression in this lifetime. How you move is vastly important. It shows how you feel on the inside. How you move, how you speak, shows how you feel on the inside. So if you don't move well, if you don't speak well, then you don't feel well on the inside. That's an instant way to tell somebody if they're healthy or well. Is their gait, G-A-I-T, how they walk, their posture, okay, how they present themselves. So your mind must connect. So again, start the process off in the morning time with meditation. And I'll put meditation. And then whenever you start the movement, close your eyes. I know this might sound awkward for people, but listen, if you're on the bench press, just close your eyes and use your imagination to imagine the bar moving. You need to connect yourself. Close your eyes. If you're on the squat rack, okay, you should have the mirror right in front of you. All right, start the process, maybe do 1 or 2, and then just close your eyes. just once, or just maybe through the entire movement, all right? And then when you're gonna be able to push yourself back up, have your guides there, have your spotters there with you, but just get into a connection where you can feel the activation of your muscle. That's the mind, all right? Next is gonna be something that's also very, I'm telling you, a complete misperception again, is intensity. How hard should you be going? In order to lose weight, okay? Because this is the goal. I'm saying you're training wrong to lose weight. All right, so that's the goal. All right, you're training wrong to lose weight. All right, or to lose fat. So I'll put fat. So you're training wrong to lose fat. That's pretty much what the weight comes from fat. All right, so how hard should you be going? This is the concept that I express is through like a sports car, okay? Because you're like a sports car. Everyone's like a sports car. Some of them have you have a sports car engine, okay? I'll say that because you have people who are bigger than some of the people. Some people are smaller, okay? But when you're in the process of losing weight, when I was strength coaching in the University of Wisconsin Superior, 2014, I had a few people that came to me. They needed to lose some weight. You know, some of them were staff members. Some of them were actual athletes too. And I said, okay, look, you're gonna come with me and we're gonna keep this process simple, but it's gonna be a consistent process. What I told them was that their intensity, it has to basically create endurance. You need to create endurance and stamina. So the best process for you to go to is the mile. If you can run a mile, and all you do is you track it. You need to be able to breathe. You see, you don't actually lose weight like that. You don't actually burn fat. What you're doing is you're breathing. You're breathing it out. It's going back into the screen space. All right, so it's processing through the conveyor belt now. That's what you're doing. You're processing the things in a pile, like a lump of coal, and you're just scooping it into a ship, and now it's causing it to have energy. So in a way, you're burning coal, or you're using fuel, like you're putting it inside your gas tank. People have excess gas out of their gas tank. You're driving their car. Start driving your car, that gas is going to be used. Okay, but you don't have to keep putting in excess gas if you have 3 or 4 full tanks and you haven't done anything. So the intensity that you should be at is going to create a higher gas mileage. You need to increase the gas mileage. You need to raise your gas mileage. That's how I'm going to say this. People who are fat and overweight, they have low gas mileage. They're like, there used to be a vehicle called the Excursion. Ford Excursion is huge SUV, huge. It got like 10 miles to the gallon. If you go to get like a Humvee, like a Hummer, like the military ones that they convert into where people can drive them on the streets and stuff, they get like 10 miles to the gallon. It's ridiculous. You can't go nowhere. And I have to fill your tank right back up. It's awful. Think of that as a person that is fat, that's overweight. They have low gas mileage, okay? Think of a person who's lean and sleek. They're like a Prius, 50 miles to the gallon. Boop, just keep going. They're just doing it. Or you can think of yourself as a Tesla, which is electricity. Electricity creates 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds. When you're using explosion energy, all right, it's creating 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. So the Tesla Model X is 6,000 pounds. 6,000 plus pounds in a Model X SUV. But if you line it up against a Lamborghini, it's gonna blow it out the water. Because it's electric. So the more electric that you become, the faster that you process, the more that you can process, the longer range that you can go if your battery is charged enough. That's the difference. The Teslas of old had a lower battery capacity, so they couldn't go maybe past 250 miles, something like that. Now they're in 500 mile range, 500 miles, 600 mile range, okay, on one charge. See, that's the whole point of losing weight. You need to be able to go further on one charge. So if you're running a mile, and say, you're just getting back into it, so your mile is like 14 minutes, 15 minutes per 1 mile. All you gotta do is get your mile down in 6 minutes. 6 minutes means you're gonna be in exceptional shape. Not even phenomenal, like elite, but you're gonna be in exceptional shape for, the 1% of the 1%, you're gonna be in there. And all you gotta do is keep yourself moving at that capacity. Because what's happening is you're increasing your intensity along the way, the entire time. If you really wanna get into phenomenal shape and you wanna do it fast, just go to run 400 meters. Take 10 400 meters, get up to 10 400 meters within a month's time. Set it like 2 days out of the week that you go onto the track and you can say, okay, 2 a day, right? Then you increase it. The next week is gonna be 4. Next week's gonna be 6. Next week's gonna be 8. Then the week after that's gonna be 10. All right, and then you're gonna see yourself transform in an instant. You'll see yourself transform in an instant. Because if you're going to the track and you're running, all right, 4 a week, and then you're running 8 a week, then you're running 12 a week, or and then you keep going 16, and then you're going 20, it's gonna be a drastic increase in how your lung capacity, your cardiovascular system, that's the system where your lungs are gonna be getting stronger. So if you can look at it from boxing or something that's like HIIT training, they call it, high intensity interval training. The reason why it works is because the intensity is causing you to breathe. It's changing your breath. It's changing your breath. But what I'm saying is you don't have to have it to where it's high impact. You don't need high impact things. You just need to get yourself to breathe more, because people don't breathe correctly. So if you're running, you ever been out of shape, you start running, all of a sudden you're just like, you're trying to get the air to come from your diaphragm, which is how you're supposed to be breathing the entire time. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to be breathing the entire time. So it's a shift. It's a complete shift. So once you look at it from the intensity, does not have to be some crazy over the top. I got to be running and jumping off the cliff, and doing some like interval sprint from the. You can do all that. That's fine. You can just take one thing. Say interval sprints. Say you can do a row machine. Say you can do the elliptical. Whatever it is, you just do it and you just raise the intensity. The intensity is based on time. That's how intensity is based on. It's based on time. It's based on how much time am I going to be relaxing in between my sets. That's all the intensity is. So if I'm going to be sitting there do one set and then I wait for 5 minutes and to do a second set, your intensity is going to be really low. But if you're going to go one set and then go right back after a minute, another set, that's your EMOM, what they call EMOM in CrossFit. Every minute on the minute. Every minute on a minute. Every minute on a minute. Every minute on a minute. You just keep on going. I'm doing this. I go to the bike. I'm doing this. I go to the sled. I'm doing this. I go to the deadlift. I'm doing this. I go to the row. I'm doing that. And you just keep going. Every minute on a minute. That's all it is. That's your interval. You can make it up with whatever you want, whatever you feel like you need, your body needs. What I would say is just make sure that it's even, where your upper half is the same as your upper half is going to be your bottom half is ×2 than your upper half, because your organs are all situated up in your upper body. So you're already heavy, maximum up here. You need to be bottom heavy so that you can hold the top, because your building is upside down at this moment in time. So people who skip leg day are not healthy, because they're going to be walking around in pain all the time because they don't have enough capacity, muscle tissue, muscle growth in their legs. So you have to have strong legs, because you already have ×2 up here, all right? This entire area, okay? Upper torso, all of it, just organs of it, they're heavy. So if you can then focus on something that gives you that feeling of intensity that increases your gas mileage, to now you can basically become a Tesla, and it doesn't matter how big you are, okay? You can be 7 feet, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how big you are. As long as you're training yourself the right way, you keep your intensity where it just has to be something that's consistent. So you just going in, riding a bike. I'm a bike guy, so I love bikes. I love, just traveling on bike. I think it's the most, surreal invention. I think it's phenomenal. But it's because as I get onto the bike, I can easily track my gas mileage. And also, I'm just processing my energy. So once you get to a place again of alkalinity, you won't have so much lactic acid buildup inside your muscles. And that's gonna also help you to keep going. You need to have more oxygen. By you having more oxygen inside your blood, red blood cells, inside your plasma that's carrying oxygen all throughout your entire body, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna feel happier, you won't feel so much disruption or feel so much sluggishness because you have more oxygen. So that's the intensity you're supposed to be training yourself at. Train at that intensity where you're increasing your gas mileage. Think of it like that. It'll make it so much easier. You're just increasing your endurance, your stamina, for you to be able to walk up down the steps. Just keep going, just keep doing it, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. If you want to be intense about it, that's fine. Go into a high intensity. Go into that. Take 2 days out the week, 3 days out the week if you want to. You can do it every day if you can recover fast enough. Okay, so you can train however much you want if you can recover fast enough. That's based upon sleep. It's based upon your lifestyle. If you can recover fast enough, by all means, go for it. Okay, so I would say intensity. I'm gonna say increased gas mileage. So that's basically, I'm gonna put gas mileage, but I'm gonna put endurance. And that's based on your cardiovascular system. And that's what's going to help you, again, to drop that fat. Walking. Something I told you earlier, 1,000 steps, start off 1,000 steps, go 2,000. Go 3,000. Just keep going. See if you can actually push yourself to do it. I guarantee you're gonna see phenomenal results. Walking. You want to make it more intense? Get a weight vest, 20-pound weight vest. Then go 40-pound weight vest. I promise you, you're gonna feel so. It's gonna start to feel intense. I'm telling you, it's going to feel intense. You're going to feel the difference. That's where it's really gonna start to shift your perspective on how training is not actually supposed to be some complicated thing. It's not. If you want to go to a hike, if you want to go to a mountain, if you want to go to a trail, okay, keep it a flat plane. Inclines are excellent. Hills are excellent. I grew up, when I moved to Stone Mountain, Georgia with my mom, her house is on a hill. So all I did was just push my basketball up the hill. It's just gonna cause you to just be insanely fast. Just going up and down the hill, up and down the hill, up and down the hill. It helped me because I went to a basketball trial for my high school team in my junior year and I didn't even make it. So I was backpedaling, I was falling because I couldn't run backwards because I was so tired. I never did any of that stuff before. It was like intense. So my senior year, I actually did make my high school basketball team, but that was because my mom brought me a weight set and I got to just work out every day and raise my intensity. I got to just train myself every day. And that's what happened. I was like, lo and behold, okay, all of a sudden my body's different. It changed. I woke up one day and I could, touch 10 feet. I can dunk and I can sprint. I can do a suicide run and I can do ladder drills. But prior, I was so weak I couldn't do anything. It just takes time. So focus on a long-term investment of your body, not a short-term investment, okay? So what types? All right, so I talked about walking. So I'm gonna put walking. Okay, I'm gonna put rowing. All right, some people are really, trying to lose weight and they're so heavy that it hurts to put that much pressure on their body. I understand. Okay, find something that you can do that takes away the legs. Then you can row. Okay, and then you can start to do the process of movement, just in place, still movement. So you can run. If you're capable of doing it, run. So running. All right, lifting. Let me tell you guys a secret of, they have these things with rebounders now, which is actually kind of funny because trampolines are using as for rebounding. Listen, you do know that they have this invention, it's called a jump rope, that people use, like way back when kids were outside and they had the double dutches and all that stuff, that it was a jump rope. Yeah, that's a rebounder. If you want to just go out and get a jump rope, it's like $5. Just jump, stand in place, build a circle around. You can draw a circle with some chalk around an area, or just keep yourself in a certain little isolated spot. You just jump rope. When I go into, I have my, like this master trainer, this guy's, he's like my mentor. He's just awesome. I've been knowing him for years. Locks, funny dude, you know, but he don't play when it's time to put work in, right? And so each time my lady and I, we go train with him, Locks has this thing where we got to do 500, like literally 500 jump ropes before we even start our stretching. And it's something that you just, you listen to all the time. You're like, okay, I know I gotta get this done. But you realize that this warms you up, starts your process off, shakes your lymphatic system, you're shaking up the glass and everything. It's just jump roping. Nothing it's some crazy thing. All boxers, you look at all boxers, they got jump rope drills because they're moving, all right? 3 minutes around, but it's high intensity because we have to be able to relax. His primary word, he tells me, relax, 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 relax. And I'm like, goodness, I took it for granted until I stopped doing it. And then I was like, nah, I got to put this right back. Jump roping. Jump roping. That's a lymphatic drainage right there. What is lymph? Lymph comes from filtered plasma. So it's basically filtration from your plasma that's taking the waste material out of your blood plasma. Your blood plasma is what moves your nutrients, you know, your vitamins and minerals throughout your blood, all throughout your entire body, through the organs inside your entire body. And it's made of 92% water. So in order for your blood, which is half plasma, which that is mostly water, you need to have some water inside your cells, inside your body. You need to have some water. Okay, that's gonna provide you with what? What is water? H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. You need to have these things inside your body. So if it's shaken up, you're gonna really start to see if you got some acids build up in there, you're gonna feel it in an instant. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it 100%. So just look at yourself in simplicity, and change the way that you're waking up and saying, I need to go in there, you know, and I need to go like whatever sport that you like to do, right? You just be the best at it and the most consistent at it. So here I'll put swimming. Okay, swimming. If you're a basketball player, like myself, go hoop. The easiest way for you to do it on the basketball court is like a shoot machine, or, you know, just drills, dribbling drills. Dr. Erwin Hudson, I used to train with in Orlando Hoops. He had the simplest drills, but they were taxing. You were tired. We would go around the arc and do dribbling drills, and then you would just shoot. You would shoot, run under the rim, shoot, get your own rebound, shoot, go run back and forth until you made this much amount. Easy things. Something that's simple, you know? So anything that you can think of, you can put it into an interval, and that interval, keep an interval at a consistent pace for you to just keep on growing in that interval. I guarantee the weight's gonna come off. But I think if you're starting from a really high amount of weight, okay, first thing that you gotta do is focus really on your sleeping patterns and your hydration patterns. Substituting tea, coffee, soda, protein shake, and energy drink, that's not water. Just having water, regular ORP, negative ORP, oxidation, reduction, potential. That means the potential for you to have this water, which is electrically charged, ionized, to stop you from oxidizing. You need to have that. That water is going to be the best thing for you. Don't go in the grocery store to go get that. If there's a plus sign on the alkaline water that you see inside the grocery store, don't buy it. Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't come to the gym with sparkling water. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. If you go to the gym, or if you're gonna go train yourself, why would you put carbonation back inside your body when you're gonna go to the gym? I told you guys that we're breathing it out. What do you breathe out whenever you're just breathing? Carbon dioxide. What do they pump back into sparkling water? Carbon dioxide. Please don't be an idiot. Do not be stupid. It's not cool. It's not luxury. Okay, you're stupid. I'm telling you. And they'll take advantage of that in an instant and market that like it's some masterful thing, but it's not. It's gonna cause a disruption, it's gonna cause you to get sick. Take it away from your diet, period. And do not bring that trash inside of the gym or fitness or think it's gonna help you to get better or stronger of any kind. It's not. I'm big about my water because water carries information. Okay, so jumping jacks. Okay, I'm listing things for you to just think of. All right, just jumping jacks, intervals. You can do intervals of jumping jacks. Okay, now if you have a lot of weight, like an obesity problem, things that you have to have impact are probably gonna hurt you because you have to drain the lymph. But you do have to move and jump so that you can get that lymph to start moving, shaking yourself up. You've got to get that. So no matter if it hurts or not, you got to go through the process. Now don't hurt yourself, okay, where you injure yourself. Hurting is different than injuring yourself. You injure yourself, that's because you overdid it. But if you hurt yourself, it's not really, you're not hurting, you're just in pain or discomfort, good. Be in pain and be in discomfort. That part of the mind that I didn't bring up was they have what's called the mid-singular cortex. In case you guys don't know too much about brain, they talked about this a lot last year. This isn't really a big thing this year, but I can bring it back to make it trending. So mid-singular cortex, what does this do? It's basically like your brain's reward system, reward mechanism. All right, you need to have a reward mechanism for you to go to do hard things, for you to move heavy things, for you to pick up heavy things, for you to push things, for you to run your fastest, for you to jump your highest. This is what your mid-singular cortex is for. It's basically like you pushing yourself past your limits. And every time that you do this process, this is going to increase your capacity. It's like raising your endurance level to do hard things. When you go into a public speech, when you push record on the camera, okay, there's things that you have to go in and go do this, because if you go to go do this, it's going to, you're seeking discomfort so that you can grow. Because if you don't seek discomfort, you're not going to grow. Once you continue to seek discomfort, you're going to eventually be comfortable at that thing. That means that you've grown. Once you get comfortable, it means that you've grown. But when you first started, you weren't good. So you have to be okay with being bad at something. You have to be okay with sucking. Like just being the last to get picked. You have to be okay with that. Kickball, right? Soccer. I'll list soccer. All right, kickball. Okay. Football, even just throwing a football around. You can make a game out of anything. And just as long as you keep your intensity, like I said, again, where you're focused on highway miles, okay? I'll put it to a different perspective. When you're driving through the city, you have low gas mileage. When you're stopping and going all the time, you have low gas mileage. If you're just driving on the highway though, your endurance is going up. If you're just coasting, if you're just in the zone, you're going on the highway, you're just flowing, your endurance is going up because your gas mileage is going up. All cars do better on the highway. All cars have better gas mileage on the highway because they don't have any obstruction. Okay, the obstruction is what causes your brakes to go bad. It causes this to die out. It causes all these functions to start to fall off. You're driving on the highway, you're gonna be great. So you have to find a way to do that in your fitness. And that's how you begin to train properly. You can't do that when you're picking up immense amounts of weight because of your ego. It doesn't matter about your PR. Your PR is not gonna be as important. Your personal record or whatever you're doing is not gonna be as important as you building yourself up so that you can get to a better place physically. Your PR is worthless at this moment in time. You need to be able to do things multiple times. So again, 4 things. Focus on your time. When you train, when you first get up in the morning, early morning, if you're looking to lose weight, relax that a little bit, okay? Get off of that a little bit. Don't get up raw out of bed and start, just going crazy. If you want to get out of bed and go walking, great. Go get your dog for a walk, excellent. But prior to you doing that, again, meditate, Close your eyes. Just close your eyes and get into yourself. This is the time right when you get up in the morning for you to program your day. The first 10, 12 seconds as you get up, you're going to remember it. So if you're gonna get up in the morning and you're gonna have your sounding alarm going through your head like crazy, that's gonna be playing through your head the entire time. You're gonna be behind the scenes going in fight or flight. There's no point. So what you need to do is get up in the morning, get your mind into meditation, close your eyes, okay? Then keep your intensity at an endurance level, like raising your gas mileage. Just constantly increasing the distance that you can travel yourself. Okay, that's gonna be the perfect ideal thing for you. And then what types? Any type really, like walking, rowing, running, lifting, weights, jumping rope, swimming, basketball, jumping jacks, soccer, kickball, football, whatever you can keep at not a lot of impact. You don't need to have too much impact, but you need to have intensity. Intensity is going to be the time that you're gonna give in between your sets. Whenever you're doing a consistent set, like I told you, driving on the highway, which is just me on the elliptical machine for 20 minutes first, then 30 minutes, then an hour, but I'm raising the incline. I'm just going step by step, each process. Just raise it, just once, then twice, then 3 times. Just keep on going, all right? Just constantly making it more challenging. Building the midcircular cortex, all right? You're building your capacity to do hard things. That's gonna get you to drop and lose this fat and not get it back. Because you'll realize it's just you're associating pain with being fat, all right, and pleasure with being fit. You're changing your associations. That's gonna be the perfect thing. So what I would suggest is that you click link in my description, get an Awaken herbal formula. Awaken is a daytime herbal formula. 17 alkalizing herbs, all right, 12 mineral cell salts, filling your mineral deficiencies, and also non-solfeggio sound frequencies. It's raising your vibration, and it's feeding your blood plasma things that you need to get your body to optimize so that now your system's gonna be working. When you're processing things correctly, your energy's gonna be changing, you'll be able to get hydrated quicker, okay, and overnight detoxify yourself, and then your work is going to work at a rapid pace. It's still gonna work, but it's gonna work even faster than what it did before. So again, click link in my description. If your goal is to lose weight, don't go to Ozempic. You don't need that. You wanna take a holistic approach, all right? And overnight, also you can purchase Replenish. And if you're looking for a raising your consciousness, a raising your awareness, every month, at the end of the month, last week of the month, I put on my Become More Alkalign Challenge. Other than that, like, share, subscribe to this video, and until next time, peace.